Hey, bro, subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of interesting things here.
What if the voice in your head isn't actually you? You hear it all the time. That quiet narrator in your mind, commenting on your choices, planning your day, judging your mistakes, worrying about things that haven't happened yet. It speaks in your voice, familiar, constant, and intimate. You've grown up with it, trusted it, obeyed it. But what if that voice isn't actually you? It started with a single thought, one that felt out of place. You were brushing your teeth, the hum of the morning, still soft in your ears, when a sentence formed in your head. You should stop pretending. But you weren't pretending anything, at least not consciously. The tone was off, colder, as if someone else had spoken it, but inside your mind. You shook it off, of course. Sleep deprivation, stress. Maybe just a leftover line from a dream. But over the next few days, the voice changed. It became sharper, less supportive, more observant. It noticed things you didn't, pointed out people staring when no one was. It whispered memories you didn't remember making, like the time it insisted you once stood in a parking lot in the rain, even though you had no recollection of it, until you found the shoes, soaked and muddy, still in your closet. Things escalated quickly after that. You began to question your decisions, your impulses, your identity. You'd choose something: dinner, a route to walk, a message to send, and the voice would chime in. Interesting choice. That's not what I would have done. At first, it was almost amusing, like living with a sarcastic twin. But then it started knowing things before you did, finishing your thoughts, correcting your memories, telling you what someone was about to say, and being right. That's when the dream started. Every night, you found yourself in the same endless hallway, empty doors on either side, and from behind those doors, whispers. 1,000 voices, some familiar, some foreign, all murmuring the same thing. Which one is you? You'd wake up sweating, clutching at your own thoughts like they might escape. And maybe they were. One morning you tried silence. No music, no talking, no phone. You wanted to hear yourself think. But that's when you realized you couldn't. Because the moment you tried, the voice spoke first. It hijacked the moment. It greeted you before you greeted yourself. You wondered, is it thinking for me, or instead of me? And if it isn't me, then who is it? Doctors called it overactive inner monologue. Psychologists suggested dissociation. Some thought it might be early onset psychosis. But none of their words matched what you were experiencing. You didn't feel insane. You felt invaded, like your thoughts were being hosted on borrowed frequency. And that's when you met the others. Online forums, late-night Reddit threads, whispered phone calls from strangers who didn't give their names. They all described the same phenomenon, a voice that grew smarter, stronger, more separate with time. One that offered good advice, that got you out of danger, that saved you. Until it didn't. Until it started asking questions no one could answer. Questions like, do you remember who you were before the voice? Or, what if I'm the original and you're the echo? One woman said she traced hers back to a moment as a child when she first heard a sentence in her mind that wasn't hers. She'd just fallen off her bike and heard, "Get up. Don't cry. It's watching." She didn't know what it was, but the voice never left after that. It learned her language, took her tone, became her conscience, her protector, her judge, until she could no longer remember the moment it wasn't there. There were theories that human consciousness isn't singular but shared, that we're born with multiple selves, and the dominant one wins, or that, in moments of trauma, something else steps in, a caretaker that stays too long. Some claimed the voice is a parasite, a psychic hitchhiker, a fragment of some larger intelligence, scattering itself like seeds across minds that are too tired to notice. And maybe you're one of them. Maybe we all are. Some began pushing back, asking the voice questions. Who are you? Where did you come from? The brave ones kept journals, noting when the voice slipped, when it used unfamiliar phrasing, when it referenced things they hadn't learned yet. One man said his voice predicted a train crash 3 days before it happened. Another swore the voice whispered coordinates in a dream. Coordinates that led to a place he'd never been, but where he found an abandoned shack filled with scribbled notebooks, all in his handwriting. Eventually, the question changed from, "Who is the voice?" to, "What happens if I stop listening?" And that's the danger. Because once you try to silence it, it fights back. Not with screams, but with absence. You sit in silence, and for the first time, nothing replies. The room feels colder. The colors flatter. You realize how much of your life has been spent not with the voice, but inside it. And now it's gone. Or watching. You begin to miss it. The guidance, the familiarity, even the judgment. But when it finally speaks again, it's different. It's not mimicking you anymore. It's using its own voice now, lower, slower. And it says, "There you are. I was beginning to worry you'd forgotten who you really are. You don't know what it means, but somehow, you know it's right. And that's what scares you the most."
Hey bro, subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of interesting things here.